Good evening, friends. This is Arpita here. So, as today's Awakening series, part 6, today's topic would be change. So, we are going to talk about change today. So, first of all, let us understand what is this change. Okay, when we are listening to the word about change, then what is this change? This change is nothing but the law of life. Those who when we time, like, we look in only to the past, or and past, and even the present, and certain to miss the future. Okay, we are looking only to the past and also to the present, we are missing the future. And the greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future by merely changing his attitude. The minute there is a change in your attitude, you have changed your future. Okay, now why is this change so important in life? What is making this change so important? It is a necessary part of life, because without change there would be no life at all. Can we imagine there is no change going on in life? Can we imagine without any change, just doing the same thing? You're getting up, you're tucking your shirt, and you're going to office, and you're coming back and being there, without any things. Our lives are actually fueled by change. We are so used to with this change. Though most of us want a certain amount of stability, yes, we want, we want a stabilized life. We want life to be in certain way. But still, if we can learn to accept this change, and as a very helpful friend, because unless there is a change, you are not evolving. There is a something, very stagnant kind of life. Even that graph which you see in the ECG report, whenever there is a straight line, there are no ups and downs, there is nothing changing. No, nothing is changing, the graph is just going on straight. What do they say? They say that you are dead. Right. The same way, it is like, then something, there is change is something you must not avoid it. You must, you may experience less stress when you are accept the change. The minute you accept the change, the stress is very less. But why the stress is there? Because you are avoiding the change, you are not wanting the change, you are very happy in your own comfort zone, you are not wanting something beyond happen. If we could have never asked for a change, we could have never accepted the change, then the woman today would not be literate, would not travel and be self-sufficient, okay, self-sustaining, and all these things. And even the education would have not gone so far, and the technology would have not developed. It is the change which is actually bringing the evolution process in action. Right now, why do we need a change? Now, why it is important? We have understood it is important. Change is important. Without change, it is difficult for us to understand the evolution process of life. So now, why do we need the change? When people need things better than they are, they're looking for a change. They want a different kind of a result. Then they are serious about change and ready to act. They make changes that allow them to do something better. Okay, why do we need change? We know that we need a change because we want something better to happen. We want a different kind of a result. We have understood, we have learned this kind of system and this kind of sustainability, and we have realized that this is what is the insight, and wonderful. And for the evolution process, we need, without change, it is not, some things cannot be possible in life, in the process. So it is important to that we need a change. It is not like, we have to, because the change happens and we are going through it. We need a change. There is a need. And now, what is the reason for the change? Generally, what are the reasons generally we think for a change? Like wanting to hear that, for the right reasons, for a better opportunity. Like, for example, you're working in an office. Okay, and now you have worked in office, everything is going on fine, and nothing, very reason conscious, very where you have to give a reason that you are leaving the job and wanting other thing. Now why are you looking for an other job? It is for the better opportunity. What do you look for? Will you look for generally, what would be the reason? Either it is a better opportunity, maybe your working system might increase, then there will be so much of learning parameter in that, or there is a growth in the career. And you want to be sure, like, even the interview, the person who is looking for some new people, looking for a change in the working atmosphere, even what is he wants to be sure that you are not leaving your previous one just because of poor performances, or some difficulty with the office colleagues, with the relationship with the office colleagues, or because you hate your job or you hate your boss. Okay, they want to understand something. They generally ask, why is that you are leaving the old job and why are you coming looking for a change? They ask. So there is a reason. What would be the reason? We need to understand. Whenever we are looking for, whenever you feel, you are feeling depressed, or you are feeling very low, that means you are bored. Depression is nothing but it is just a boredom. Okay, you are bored of the same things happening in life. Now you need a change. You just need a reason for that change. Okay, that reason is for the betterment of your own self. Now how can the change be positive? Now you have to make sure that the change is always being positive. Okay, it is not going the other way around, and you have changed, you out of some curiosity wanted, you asked for a change, and that has got a difficult things in life. Now how can this change be positive? Now change is good because you have the opportunity to embrace new experiences, right? Change is always good because it's giving the opportunity. Now new perspectives, every time you see, whenever you're looking for a change, life is giving you a new perspective for you. The opportunities are plenty, there are many opportunities. When you look back in your life, and whenever you turn back of the really amazing things of new experiences, you might have, maybe you might a person might have got married, going to the job, or if it is a female, just sitting at home taking care of household, very happy and no issues at all. But after few certain stage of life, a point of life, when you look back, you see that you have done so many things. There were so many new things and new opportunities which have come across you. There might be a new job, or new shifting to new place, or there must have been some change, something or the other been changing in your life, right? And you always had the new experience. Every time there was a new experience, right? Now what are these advantages of these changes? When we look into the advantages, what are the advantages? The dynamics of our modern life, it has changed dramatically. Like we have we had in order to bring in, adopt in new things like methodologies, the processes, and even the products must be adjusted. Like it is changing the environment, even the product is changing the environment. First, initially we had the telephone, which was the dialing system. And then there was a change, and it was, even the telephone was also not directly the dialing system. There was some operator, we used to call the telephone department and give the number, then the connection used to happen, and then they used to give a call, and then we used to talk. Later on it became like, we are just giving the operator the some code kind of a number, some section number or something, and then immediately you could connect. And later on came the pager, just messaging thing. Okay, and then came the telephone, and then came the mobile. There are so many, and now it is going on. It is like, it is when we are ready to change, we are guaranteeing some flexibility of your work, in even in your competitive world. And what is actually this change? What is changing? This change is changing in a person. It is changing a negative attitude. A person is not going into the boredom anymore, not being depressed of the same old things anymore. Now there are no past hurts. there are nothing like, every time, because things are changing. How you have, then there is no past hurt at all, because in previously some point of my life I've experienced something, some hurt or some traumatic experience in my life. And now when a person has gone into a next stage of life, things have changed. Now the past is no more there, the past hurts are no more there. That has changed, because the perception towards life is being changed. Now the perception have changed, the perspectives have changed. There is so much of flexibility now, so the past hurts also is cleared, is resolved. And now you're caring about your health. There is a caring, there is a change. There is a change. Initially your parents have taken care of you, and later, in later stages of life, you are taking care of your parents. There is a cleanliness, listening better. We are able to listen everything better because of the social media. It is because of the beautiful change in social media. Even in this time of corona, or virus, whatever is going on with the social distancing, we are able to still communicate with each other. Okay, the communication habits are improving. We know now, initially before corona, it was like, we didn't knew, most of us didn't know how to use the technology. Now everyone is thorough. There is a change in everyone's perspective, and even the perception. There's some willingness even to do something for others. There's a change. What is the change? It is the willingness also. Now how do you deal with these changes? Okay, what are the things which you generally deal with these changes? Is like, in every situation, try to find out the humor. Okay, there must be everything. Whenever you are wanting a change, try to find a humor in everything. Don't be so serious. Life is not about being completely serious. It needs to be very joyful and very playful. And talk about problems more than feelings. We are constantly talking about our feelings. I felt this way when you did that. I felt this way when you did this. I felt this way. Talk about the problems. This situation, I'm not very comfortable. It somehow creates a discomfort in me. Maybe because my discomfort is I feel embarrassed, or I feel so and so, so there is a fear, or whatever would be the situation. But when you're talking about the problems more than the feelings, then the problem is properly resolved. Okay, now don't stress about stressing out. Okay, we keep telling our most of the parents we hear, they keep telling the children, you have to do this, you have to do that. Now you're sitting at home, you do this work, you google it, and you learn this, you do that. Be active, be do always, the stressing people, children or anybody on. There's more on focusing on they're stressing on being stressed out. They're stressing on a point, continuously say repeating the same thing, and they themselves are also getting stressed out. Okay, now focus on your values instead of your fears. Let us not talk about, we have this fear, that fear, this and all. Let us talk about, I value that, this is what something I have in me, and I value it a lot. This is what you have, this is what you have in you, and I value that quality in you a lot. Why are we not talking about the values? Why are we always talking about the fears? There must be some change. Now accept the past, but you fight for the future, whatever it is, but accept the past. The minute authentically you accept the past, that minute you see there is tremendous change which is happening in life. That very moment everything is changed. It is because we are not willing to change. Accepting the past, the present moment is also being rigid. The minute you accept it, everything, every moment, everything, whether it is a past or present, the way it is, that moment you will see the things are changed. Okay, and whenever we are asking some change, we need change. We definitely need some change. Body also changes. It is not the same infant child. Body also, physically also, we are going through the change. Now don't expect stability. Don't expect in life stability. Always have, the minute you are stabilized, you start, after for some time it will be good, but after a point of time it will be boring. Again it will take you into depression. So you need change. Okay, so now how do you motivate someone to change? Now, how do you motivate either whether it is yourself or whether to other selves? It is like set clear expectations and goals. Have a clear expectation. Okay, this is what I am and this is how I am. I expect my people around to be this way. This is what because this is what is my goal. I want to reach there. For that, if you all help me out in being this way, so this is what I'm expecting. When you're making a clear understanding, now focusing less on getting people on board, and more getting on involving them. You are involving them when you are bringing people together. You can't say that, no, I've expected that you would behave properly when I'm saying you. If you say that, it is like, you are making them, you're stressing them out. You're, there is a separation happening, and the change is not possible like that. You bring them together, you involve everyone into your work. That's when you will see the change is very, you are motivating them also to be a part of the change. Okay. And now it is like provide autonomy. It is like, self-sustaining. Always provide a system where everyone is sustaining on their own. Nobody is dependent on others. Interdependency is always there. It's in our country, basically in India, it's always interdependency is there. But there must be a system of self-sustaining also. Nobody is dependent out of some unworthiness or out of some lack. They're not dependent. They're interdependent. Okay, this makes a bond within the change. And actively listen whenever you are talking anything. You are we generally, what we do is we listen less, and we judge more. So when other person is talking, you always give the importance of listening. Unless you listen to completely, you cannot understand what exactly the point was. Okay. Now establish the short-term goals. You establish, you create, this, okay, this little I'll do. This little is my goal. Okay, I'll reach that. I'll do this. When you make short goals, now it becomes very easy it will motivate you in this changes. It keeps motivating you. And every time celebrate the success. Every time, every moment, whenever it happens, always celebrate the success. For every little thing, celebrate it. What are the three tools, the main three tools which the tools which for changing behavior? If you have to change your behavior, what are the tools? It is like, diffusion of innovations. You are diffusing the innovations, whatever of the innovations are there. You are diffusing it, and they are making a belief model, right? And the communication, and even the psychology is all about the mind status and what one perceives, what one thinks, and what are the emotions and feelings that are triggering, that are adding force to that thought. Now always see the positive attitude towards it. And there is a cognitive therapy, like how you are thinking and how it is, the thought is affecting your behavior, how your emotions are leaving an impact on your behavior. Always understand all this. This is important. When these are the tools for a changed behavior. Now, whether there is a social norms approach or proceed model, anything from one point to other point, how you are reaching to one point to other. This also shows this one point to other point, one destination to other destination is also a movement of change. Okay. Now the stages are like the stages are like pre-contemplation, like you are not wanting to change. A pre-contemplation is like you are not wanting to change. Generally, contemplation is the thought process. Okay. Now you are not wanting to change. So you have already made your own ideology within your mind, and you want it to be that way. You don't want a change to happen. Okay. But the second stage is first that stage from not wanting to. Now slowly you begin to think. You begin to contemplate. Okay. And then you prepare yourself for that. You make yourself ready. Okay, and now there is an action. Okay, now you begin to act, and now after acting it, now you would have to maintain it. Okay, once you maintain it, then that's when that situation, the past completely, till then all that whatever you have done, all the stages gets dissolved and become only one part. Okay, this is how, slowly we bring a change within ourselves. Now, what is resistance to change? Generally, what is that resistance which will hold on? It is the action taken when you perceive the change is not occurring as a threat. Okay, it is like, when a change, you feel that, oh my god, that some change is going to happen, I'm scared about it. What is that change? I don't know. So there is a resistance. It is a resistance. Now, what are the causes for this resistance? It is like individually, the individuals, generally anybody, usually resist this change when they do not understand the purpose. Okay, whatever the changes are coming into our life, why do they, what are the cause, and what is the reason behind not wanting the change? Resistance to the change is they do not understand the real purpose. That is when we don't want to get into the dark, because we do not know what is going to happen there. Okay, so that's the same way. Even when somebody don't understand the process, they usually assume, when anyone does not understand whatever is happening and how things are going on, they generally assume that it would be something bad, because we do not know. Every unknown thing is bad because we do not know about it. Right, this causes this resistance to change, and there is a mistrust, and the initiators of change, they create mistrust to whatever situation is bringing as an initiation to the change to come up. They create a mistrust. And now, how do you overcome it? First, listen. Always first listen to. We don't want to listen, we want to jump into conclusion all the time. Okay, so first listen what is happening, and now slowly implement the changes, and now communicate the change effectively. Now communicate what has happened, what is this, this change, I have done this, I heard about this, I have done this, and now I saw this is how it has happened. Now you slowly overcome. You think about for yourself, yes, what is that? Something has come to me and I heard about it and I implemented it, and then I saw that there's a change effectively. Now, what are the reasons? Now you overcome like this. Now, what are the reasons? Generally, you find it convenient. Generally, anybody anybody would feel very convenient about whatever they are. However, the life is going on. Array, we are happy with whatever happiness. We don't want any change. Okay, it is because it is not that they are in a comfortable state. It is because they have difficulty in learning something new. They do not want to learn. So that is the reason that they feel it is very convenient to say, I am continuing the same thing, I don't want any change. Changes bring alterations in your duties. It brings alterations in your in your perceptions, in your thought process, new way of life. And all the insecurities or lacks of creativity, everything will all these things will resist the change. They will block. But when you understand these are the ways, any change which is coming up, any opportunity is coming up, the minute you want the change, you will see there are so many opportunities available in the world. But we just want to say yes to whatever coming into life. Now, how many types of this resistance is there to change? One is logical resistance. Logical resistance is from paper accounting to computing. It's gradually it is taking time to adapt. Like from before computer, everything was on paper. There were ledger notes and accounting notes and so many things. From this to computer, it took some time. It took little time for us to, even still more, it is taking time in many areas to accept the change. It is gradually, because it is logical, it needs mind into it. But psychological, what about the psychological? Psychological is always fear of unknown. And there is less tolerance to change. We cannot tolerate change. because it is dislike towards the management, etc., etc., whatever it is. There are so many things. That's the reason we don't want change. Okay, and now what are the third one? The third one is the sociological resistance. After the logical resistance and psychological resistance, sociological resistance. Sociological resistance is, it relates not in individuals, but rather in common values and our customs of groups and whatever, the religious things. It may be willing to change, but is not able to change due to the pressure in the group. Okay, in a family, like, there is my family, I can give an example of, in a workers union, in the factories or whatever, there's a union thing comes. One a person in a group, in a union, they say that, they want to be against the new management policies and all this policies and whatever systems, new management. Now all the workers face the same pressure to protest. It is like, it is sociological. Everyone is doing it, even whether you like it or you don't like it, you get to do it. Okay, it is sociological resistance. This is not individual, it is happening in the groups. Now, what are the key points? Awareness is the first step in healing or changing. First, you need to be aware of what is happening, listening first. And then lessons can be learned through awareness. The minute you are aware, you can learn what is happening, what this change is bringing to you. And now there are non-verbal clues, like our actions show our resistance, our body language, all these things. You change the subject. When the body is changing, showing this resistance, when a person is talking, trying to talk about something, you change the topic. You change the topic, or you leave the room, or you go to the washroom. You purposefully go late, and you feel like, one purposefully you are getting stuck with something, or you are creating or ending a relationship. You refuse to pay attention. All these factors. You're doing something else, as if that is very important. Okay, whenever these are non-verbal clues. It's, you want a change and you do not want the past to come in. You bring a change, and this is how you behave. And what are the assumptions in this? And assumptions is, we assume things about others to justify our resistance. We say that so and so person is like that. That's the reason I asked a change for it. I asked a change. If that person would have been wonderful, I would have not asked the change. It is your resistance to change, and you are assuming, you are just making it onto others. Okay, or sometimes you say, oh, they don't understand. I would have changed my whole personality, but they could not. I could have, I would have to change my whole personality. That was a very big, difficult thing. They couldn't have helped me with my problem. These are assumptions. Okay, when we say all this, and then they say they couldn't have handled my anger. Oh, I get so much anger, but they could have not handled it. Okay, it wouldn't do any good. Even if a change comes, what will happen? Nothing could do any good. My case is different. It will work itself. I don't want to bother them. All these are assumptions. There is a resistance to change. There is unconsciously, you are not aware, but unconsciously there is a strong resistance to change. That is the reason the person is using all this kind of excuses. Okay, let it happen naturally. I don't want to do anything. Why things have to happen naturally? When some things you can do it, act on it immediately for a change to come in. Why are you not doing it? Why are you simply saying that my mind is somewhere else? That minute, that moment says that you do not want the change. You're very happy with whatever it is. Now, what are the belief systems? Beliefs that, the beliefs only becomes a resistance. They say, oh, I don't want to change because, yes, so-and-so person will not understand my things and everything. I don't want change. You want somebody else to take in that. Now it is like them. Okay, them concept is, we give our power to others and use that excuse as our resistance. It's like, we don't want something to do. We have the resistance. Now we wait, we behave in such a way, we avoid it such a way and some things and all, and the other person immediately says, oh, you, maybe you don't want it, that's the reason you are avoiding me so much. Oh, see, this is what you are, that's the reason I don't want. Okay, immediately you put everything on them, right? And now what are the self concepts in this? And self concepts are like having ideas about ourselves that we use as limitations. Oh, this is all I can do, I cannot handle beyond this. You don't want a person, so you make so many excuses, you believe so many things, and there are so many delaying tactics. Okay, there's so many things, delaying tactics, which keep happening. It is you don't want to be there on time. You simply say, oh, last minute something has come up, I delete. There's so many techniques. When things happen in this way, we need to understand, we need to be aware that there is so much of resistance, but there is no need to be resistant for anything. Change is always wonderful. Unless you accept a change, you will not see what best opportunity that change is coming to you. You want somebody else to take over that blame, which you are holding the resistance onto somebody else, and now you want to say that, because of that, it happened after a certain particular person has behaved this way, the change has happened, and I'm happy things have happened, work for me. Okay, it has got nothing to do anyone, it has got to do with your own self. We are not wanting here, when we do not want a change to happen, we are actually losing a brilliant opportunity, a new perspective of life, new opportunities that are coming in your life. We are not allowing it. There is a fear, there is an insecurity. Oh my god, if something change is going to come, there's so many things which are going to change. No, I'm not ready for it. I don't want change. We are fine with whatever is going on. Okay, we'll see to it that we hold strongly that nothing else happens. And in spite of that, if something happens naturally, then what can I do? We are giving a number of reasons in resistance. There are so many belief systems we are believing that, this to work as a defense on our resistance. We need to be open. Maybe some situation in your life, maybe previously you may get to a point, I was very open to every change and all, but a certain change has brought only traumatic situations, experiences in my life. That's the reason I fear change. We need to understand that was the past now. You held the fear, you go through it. Yes, everything is understood, pain is understood, but after a certain point of time, even that has changed. Past is not in this present now. The past is already gone. Now the present, things might have been changed. If that change would have, this traumatic experience would have not come to you, maybe whatever you have learned through the experiences, you would have not learned it. So appreciate the change in whatever form it comes to you. This is very important. This is highly important in our life to understand how change is, how much important is change in our life. And change is the only thing which will continue to be happening in the same way, that which will never change. Everything changes in our life, but it is only the change which will never change. And you cannot change it. Okay, so better accept it. Accept everything, however way, whatever way it has come to you, every change that has come to you. Acceptance is the biggest thing. Accepting and being aware of every situation, every opportunity that is coming to you, it is coming like a friend rather than trying to avoid it. It is coming to you as a friend with a new perspective, with new ideologies, new methodologies, new process. Always be excited like a child. Had we had the mind of a child, how is a child? The child is always excited about whatever is happening in the future. Whatever is happening is always excited. Whatever, every situation, every moment, he sees something new and he sees a change. He's been playing with one car and we buy another toy, another car, and he's again happy, because this color is different, this color is different, or maybe this is different, this is different. There is a change, old, new, or some way or the other, there's a change. So the child is so very happy. So the same way, like a child, if you begin to accept every new opportunity, every new perspective, every new ideology, every new process, then life would go very wonderfully beautiful. But if we are resisting the change, we are stopping ourselves. We are going into a senility mode. We do not want to. Okay, we are not interested in new change coming in. We are not interested in new ideology coming in. We want to be stagnant. We want to be that living dead mode. Okay, so friends, always accept change. Change is the most beautiful thing which we all are keep attracting. We continue to attract till the end of our life. Even the death is a change from one situation to one state to another state. It's a transition. There's so many changes happen every time. The change has to happen. Okay, accept the change. And that's how, and you can accept the change when you are aware of whatever is resisting you, because you are aware. When the minute you are aware of whatever is resisting you, you get a tremendous insights of what is that which is holding on to you, what is that you fear, and you can face the fear. Unless you face the fear, you cannot walk through the go beyond it. Okay, so this is what about little about the change and the resistance we hold in our belief systems, in our non-verbal communication, or so many ways how we behave it. Be aware of the resistance and accept the change every moment. Okay, friends, thank you so much. And tomorrow we'll meet again at 7 o'clock sharp with a new topic. Till then, thank you, friends. Good night.